What's going on, everybody? Epic Outdoor Adventures. Brian Peacock here. I'm going to do something different for you today. I've been doing a lot of fishing and things like that on the channel, and I do a lot of things, and this channel is about a lot of things and not just fishing. It has to do with the great outdoors and a lot of things that we do outdoors and can find to do outdoors, and I like to do them all. It depends on what mood I'm in at the time. So I'm going to bring you some flint knapping. Flint knapping is a art and a skill that was invented and mastered by the Native Americans to not only North America but all over the world. Flint knapping was the gap between caveman and steel. So basically it is the art form of flaking and removing rock that is a silicate and that has a concordial fracture. So any rock that has silica, a high enough concentration of silica in it, can be knapped, and all rock that can be knapped will have a concordial fracture. Without getting into the depths of all of that, basically what a concordial fracture is a Hertzian cone. And the best way to describe it is if you have a window, a piece of glass. Glass is pure silica, so that is the purest form that you could knap. So glass is definitely knappable, and it's probably one of the easiest to flake, but it's the easiest to break as well. So basically when you have a window pane and you shoot a BB into that window, you usually get a hole, and then on the other side it blows out a cone, a circle, and that cone is 100-degree angle exactly every time. It's a predictable fracture. So being a predictable 100-degree fracture at a 90-degree impact, it is predictable. So what we can do is predict that fracture and reduce a rock, flatten it, sharpen it, and make it a blade, or make it an arrowhead. So you can basically take a piece of rock like this. This is a piece of rock from West Virginia, and this is not a very great rock to knap. It's pretty tough. It doesn't have a lot of silica in it. It has enough to be able to be knappable, but it's not enough to be really easy to knap like glass would be. So you could take a rock like this, and then you can turn it into, say, something like this, which would be a blade, or this probably would be an atlatl point, or a spear point, which the atlatl was used thousands of years before the bow and arrow was ever created, and we'll get into all that in another video. But I'm basically going to try to reduce this piece here, which isn't a very hard piece. It's already pretty flat. It's a spall of obsidian, and we're going to try to make an arrowhead out of this for you guys real quick, as quickly as I can, and hopefully we don't break it. So tools of the trade: hammerstone. This is just a hard stone that you would find in the river. I like to use granite-based ones. You can use sandstone as well if they're hard enough, but you want it harder than the rock that you're working on. So I'm just going to let me turn this down a little bit here so you can watch this. All right, so this isn't a sorry, the truck. This isn't a how-to video yet. I'll do some how-to videos for you guys if you want. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like some how-to videos, if you guys want to learn how to do this stuff. And basically all you're doing is you're chipping off and you're working underneath of you, basically. The idea is to set up strong platforms. So I'm strengthening the platform by grinding, and there we go. So see, we take flake removals out, and it took this piece off. I'm working on this little ridge here to take off, and we're going to try to flatten this piece as flat as we can get it on both sides, take out these rolls and hills and valleys and ridges, and try to get it all on one plane, and then we'll move to the next tool. So these are the things that come off. These are razor sharp. These can be used as razor blades and are very useful. Alright, that's that one side there. It's got like a funky little lip on it right here. We're going to try to get rid of this hump here with a progression of strikes from the other side. I'm just lifting this edge slightly to give me a better platform on the other side when I turn it. There we go. All right, now we'll flip it. It may just look like I'm just breaking the edge of the rock, and basically it is what I'm doing, but shaping the rock as well. So here is that ridge. You can see that ridge is gone now. Taking that ridge out. Here's my series of flakes that it stopped right here at the bottom of the valley. Flakes don't like to travel down and then back up again. They stop at the bottom of valleys. So that's the point of trying to get this flat to where I can shoot flakes through that valley. Now over here I have another hump. And this is actually called the bulb of percussion. The bulb of percussion is where this flake was hit from the original rock. So this actually came off like this when it was underneath. It was underneath something and it was hit, and this was the flake that came off. So that is the bulb of percussion. You can always tell a spall or a flake because it will always have a bulb of percussion on it. A good way to tell artifacts in the field when you're finding artifacts, if they're actually flakes and spalls or if they're just natural pieces of stone. For those of you that don't flint knap and really like to hunt for arrowheads, it's really good to learn the flint knapping, because it really makes you understand the process and it helps your eye zero in on some of these things that we see every day when we're napping. A lot is important in napping here. The way you hold a piece, the support that you give it, back, sides, everything needs to be supported underneath. You can't put pressure in too many places, otherwise you'll snap it. So it can be pretty hard to learn at first. Once you get the hang of it,